Yes, yes, indeed. Welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host. You already know we do this every week, every Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Minister FRED2 or Mr. Whitlow for those that know me in government. Say, listen, we got a great show for you today. When I talk about great show, setting off the new month, setting off the new season, listen, this show you're not going to want to miss. But we're going to get right in. Listen, we're not going to take up a lot of your time, but make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. Make sure you share with others because, listen, the music videos, the content, my guest is a really great friend of mine, and he's going to be an amazing friend of yours. So let's get you a song by Portia Love. We're going to start this killing vibes because when we talk about what we killing today, we got to kill it. All right, I'm your host. You already know. And my man, you already know in the business, Professor X. Let's go, man. Let's give him some of that killer vibe, bro. All right, peace. Stay locked. Stay loaded.
We did that. We're about to kill this party. You ready? Y'all put a note. I'm about to keep this going here. Oh, my God. Killing rock. Killing rock. Said I'm killing bars. Hope that I'm blowing your high. Jesus coming back one day in the sky. Ain't living right, you gon' fry. Ow, killing bars. In this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. Yeah, this world going down. I tell them, look, this world going down. But you already knew that. I promise you don't want to get the guy. And he be like, who that? I never knew. You and your crew, smoking that loud, drinking the brews. You know it's too fast, but one choice to choose. The devil say sin, you got nothing to lose. It's crazy, ain't it? You used to be my favorite. I had better plans for you, but you percent over my kingdom and lies. You eat them. I remember eating. When man thought God and human was equal. Ha, if we living for God, why we still trying to impress people? I don't get it. Jesus, I'm with it. Trying to fool God, but I tell them to quit it. I get it. They crazy. Everybody having babies. Waiting on God, why bother?
Pregnant. You see that? Pregnant. I told you I was pregnant. I should have just waited on God.
Everybody having babies. Waiting on God, why bother? Daddy left me, so I'ma leave Christ as a psycho to keep us away from the Father. Trying to please God, but you living in sin is the problem. Said I'm killing bars. Hope that I'm blowing your high. Just coming back one day in the sky. Ain't living right, you gon' fry. Ow, killing bars. In this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. In this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. Hope that I'm blowing your high. Jesus coming back one day in the sky. Ain't living right, you gon' fry. Ow, killing bars. In this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. Yeah, this world going down.
16 inches of Remy, she sitting so pretty. One guy, a company mini. These girls, they less than they own. They swearing they grown. The Lord is gone. I'm afraid if you ain't gon' change, then you ain't gon' rise. Up here in the sky, I'm ready for show. For him I would live, for him I would die. God ain't pleased with confusion. The church is refusing the power they money abusing. Getting rich out the people with problems. Compromising with sin for they tithing. Tell them the truth. Wise up, no time for a oops. Your side, tie the shoe. You hear me? You through. If you coming for me, come correct, cause I'm bearing this fruit. What's the importance of sporting them Jordans? Religion not true. You cannot afford it. You live in the die. The mission aborted. His mercy and grace. Redeemed the distorted. One time. Put your hands in the air if you living for Christ. Best believe that we in this for life.
Said I'm killing bars. Hope that I'm blowing your high. Jesus coming back one day in the sky. Ain't living right, you gon' fry. Ow, killing bars. And this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. And this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. Hope that I'm blowing your high. Jesus coming back one day in the sky. Ain't living right, you gon' fry. Ow, killing bars. And this world going down. Said I'm killing bars. Yeah, this world going down.
Welcome back to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. We do this every Saturday, In the building, man. I'm excited, man. I got a really good homie. Like, now, when you all listen to the No More Dirty radio show, you hear this guy. He's the dopest, the cleanest. Say it how you say it, man. On the
dopest, the cleanest radio station in the nation.
The nation. We have in the building my homie, your friend now. It's none other than Dr. Mike Cross. What's up, bro? Welcome to the show, man.
Good to see you again, man. Good to be on the
Oh,
show, Bible Beats and Bars.
You already know the business, man.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, then we come back and give it to him on Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, let's get right in, man. Starting out this new season, this new really era in history, dealing with mental health.
Yeah.
In the Black and brown community. We're going to really tackle that today. But before we do, I want to give a little backstory. I always ask my guests, number one, do you have a favorite scripture?
I do have a favorite scripture.
And a quote. If so, share that with the folk, man. I think they would really be blessed by that information.
Oh, yeah. Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Right.
And so as long as you have Christ in your life, in your corporate, in your mental health, in your marriage, in your relationships, everything that you do, Christ can strengthen you to be better, to level up in your situation. So that's my favorite text. That's what I live by.
Why is that so important for you? Because I think somebody's out there listening, they're going, so I get it, Doc, but why that scripture and why is it so important to you why do you live by it every day?
Well, all of us are flawed. We are imperfect. We make mistakes. For our listeners out there, you may have a felony on your record. You may have a failed marriage. You may have a failed relationship with your children or your spouse or in general. You may not be promoted the way you really want to, or your career is not going where it needs to go. And because of our flaw, because we are imperfect, we have to have Christ in us to give us value.
Wow.
And to give us a sense of purpose, regardless of the flaws, regardless of the mistakes we have made.
And so, with that being said, I think that's a great segue. So, who is Dr. Mike Cross behind all the doctor and all of the certifications?
Yeah.
Who? Because I think a lot of times when we look from the inside looking out, we see somebody that's really have made it, so to speak, but we don't really know their backstory.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing backstory. I just want to give them a little,
a little tidbit.
Tidbit, man, and then we'll get in on what we really
like I said, not being perfect, I have tried my best to make sure I get my education. I have made mistakes in life. I'm a domestic violence child survivor where my dad beat my mom.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican, so many of you all, even though it's a stereotype, I hate it's a bad stereotype.
Right.
But my father was a drug dealer that went to prison. So here I am at 14 years old.
Wow.
And I have an absent father now.
Right.
Single mom.
Yeah.
That dad has left the house. And now I'm at 14 going through high school with no father in the house,
Wow.
and so I have, and then of course my mom and dad both did drugs, both drank,
Right.
you talk about Heineken
Yeah, man.
and Guinness Stout
Wow.
and,
The hard
stuff,
liquors,
stuff that you're going to have to spend about $200
just to consume,
and have
which
a
is
party.
bill,
Yeah.
and a
And
child
then,
is not
and then
being
my
taken.
child, and then my dad, marijuana, weed, all of that. So, what I have learned in life is that no matter what your past is, no matter what your ancestry is, no matter what your
Yeah.
dad or your mom has done, that may have been poured into you, you have got to have Christ to help you not to do what they did. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that is deep,
Yeah.
man. And again, I want to say thank you for. And this is going to be very transparent, but a very provocative and transforming conversation.
Oh yeah.
I want to
yeah.
dig right in, man. Let's talk about, and I think this is really important.
Vital.
Let's talk about mental health.
Yeah.
Because having gone through because we in the Black and brown community have gone through so much, and you all know that personally. Everybody knows at least 1 to 5 people. They say out of every 5 person, 2 to 2.5 has gone through some major trauma.
Oh yeah.
That
Absolutely.
has impacted their life for the negative.
Mhm.
That needs service and help.
That's right.
So let's talk about that mental health, Black and brown community.
Yeah.
As we lead in this new season of the session,
Right.
Bible Beats and Bars.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We'll have a great conversation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I think let's go ahead and
Vital.
let's give them a song. I think let's do Front View. There's a song by this man called Swavey. Let's go there and then we can come in and dig in and talk more about it. He has a song called Front View. A lot of times we see what we see from the front or from the outside view.
Mhm. Yeah.
But there's a lot of things behind us,
Whew, man.
before us, underneath us,
Right.
that if not resolved.
Internal.
So
Yeah, well.
enjoy this video. We'll be right back and we're going to dig in. How do we deal with mental health and how do we overcome the challenges that we face?
Oh yeah.
No more dirty.
Bible Beats and Bars, baby.
Yeah, you know the session. Take us out, Professor. Let's check out this video.
It's crazy because a while ago, and even to this day, I struggle with self-doubt and not really believing in myself. And ever since a kid, I felt moved to really do music and pursue my passion. But I've always felt the stares of others and thought about their opinions more than really mine, or most importantly, God's. And I've always struggled with that mentally and emotionally. It's taken a toll. I ended up winning a competition, and that really changed my outlook on truly who God wants me to be. And some of these role models I have saw in my shoes, and that reaffirmed me. And I thought to myself, maybe one day I could sign someone's shoes. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Y'all ain't wanna see this, now you got a front view. This guy's perfect timing, not a little overdue. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, yeah. Y'all ain't wanna see this, now you got a front view, yeah. This guy's perfect timing, not a little overdue, yeah. Do this for the glory, not no little revenue, yeah. Yeah. I got the weight, it's on me. Ahead of the rap like Saudis, like a balloon. Got me right in the wrong with this song. Godly, keeping it rubber long terms. Foggy, early boy catching the word. Oddly, keeping ahead of the curve. Broadly, yeah. I got rappers, yeah, they sign up on my shoes, yeah. One day I'ma show you I can sign my knitted too, yeah. God gave me a gift that I know I just gotta use, yeah. Glory to the ones before me, pay respect and dues, yeah. Them dudes, yeah. All y'all know you hitting snooze, yeah. You hitting snooze, yeah. Listen, I'm blessed like I chose. I cannot lose, yeah. Look at the news, yeah. Why you confused? How can he really pick someone like you? Cause I have been saved by the blood and the truth. Listen. So I'm at an early stage in life, so I keep an eager state of mind. Diablo can never change my mind, so I hit decline. I guess that's divine. I know you probably never seen me, cause I'm in my bed looking so dreamy, and you in my bag looking greedy. You rub me round Wayne, no genie, might leave the tag on like graffiti. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, yeah. Y'all ain't ain't wanna see this, now you got a front view, yeah. This God's perfect timing, not a little overdue, yeah. Do this for the glory, not no little revenue, yeah. This is the dream and I'm living it. Only do this for the benefit of truth of the youth and the reverend. Evidently you don't care for your betterment. Yo, Swayze, shut up, you irrelevant. Good thing I don't care about no relevance. I'm in the room like an elephant. All y'all be talking is excrement, might be entitled to settlement. Slytherin snake is so venomous, yeah, he showed up in the Genesis. Yeah, and now I'm gonna stay in my element. Here had to wait till it's Exodus. Yeah, and devil will try and it's definite, but he forgets that I'm heaven sent. Yeah, and all he could do is be petulant. Closet been rid of my skeletons. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, yeah. Y'all ain't wanna see this, now you got a front view, yeah. This guy's perfect timing, not a little overdue, yeah. Do this for the glory, not no little revenue. I can't see my soul, there's no fake, and no foe. You can't stop my grind when I'm set in the zone. You can't stop my faith.
Now I know I am who God says I am. Swayze.
The No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty Inc. YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip-hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV show. Connect with us and tune in.
Yeah, you already know. Tune in. Shout out to my man K Drama for the voiceover. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man.
I don't know. What do you think about that Swayze,
Oh yeah,
bro?
that's great.
Man, that
Yeah,
was so
I
deep.
am who God says I am.
Man.
Very powerful, powerful.
So let's dig in. So we're talking about mental health in Black and Brown community.
Yeah.
Listen, you are board certified, you're a licensed Christian counselor, you're ordained pastor, minister of the gospel, and you're a mental health specialist.
Right. Yeah.
You have your own practice, Abundant Life, coaching and therapeutic.
Therapy center.
Yeah.
Therapy center.
Yeah. So listen, what drove you to do that in light of Black and Brown communities, being a person that is of the Black and Brown descent?
I think one of the first things that we have to learn about some of the disparities in the Black community when it comes to mental health is that trust is an issue.
And I think that's a big thing, you know,
trust.
Really it is.
Yeah.
Tell us
We have
more.
a hard time trusting, you know, grandmama and the pastor and the church are usually the places that we go to get the fix and the help, but they are not mental health professionals. Right.
And I think that's important to point that out, that God uses people like our grandma, relatives, folk in clergy ministry, even in the school system, to give us or navigate us to some professional, now moment services.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's very important. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
You know, when I went through Hurricane Katrina, we had mental health counselors.
Right.
I sat down and had to work through the devastation I saw.
Right. Because like, let's use your example. Like, say for an example, you're going through Katrina.
Yeah.
You're going through crime in your community and gunshots and all these different things.
Yeah.
Most individuals in our community has some level of post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah.
What they call PTSD.
PTSD.
Right.
Correct.
You have a sexual assault.
Yeah.
PTSD. You know, you have any kind of abuse that happens in the community, whether it's by your spouse, your loved one, your family, mother and dad, etc. You have some form of traumatic stress syndrome. And so while the church has wonderful people, while the pastor does his best to give you scripture and all that, while grandmama is praying for you and you may have a whole cloud of witnesses that can support you. They are not trained and licensed and certified mental health professionals that are trained to pull out those concerns, those issues, and even diagnose
Right.
things that need to be resolved or need medication
Right.
in order to help you.
And I
Right.
think that leads to the other next question is then we now, if we're not careful, we have to, there are myths out
Yes.
there. Let's discuss some, maybe two or three of
Yeah,
those.
2 or 3 of those. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Very
So
invi-
what are some of those myths that we think are facts,
Yeah.
but they're
Let me
not?
pull my
Yeah,
notes up
yeah,
here
man,
for you.
because I think that's important.
Yeah, very important. So
Yeah.
like one of them is mental health illnesses are something that only adults suffer from.
We definitely know
Right.
that's
And
not.
that's not true. Mental illness can occur in anyone, regardless of their age. Children and teenagers can also develop mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, and panic disorders. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And Minister Fred, what usually happens,
Mm.
the problem sometimes and most times
Right.
start early,
Right. Yes.
right? When you're a teenager,
Or you're a
right? Or
kid.
you're a kid. And then because we don't resolve it, it turns into an adult situation,
Right.
right? And remember back in the day what they did with that? That you would have children, they'd say, oh, he's hypertension, or hyperactive.
Right.
And they'd give you Ritalin.
Right.
Remember, every middle
Without
school,
any diagnosis.
without no diagnosis to calm him
No
down.
assessment.
No assessment.
They just figure you just a hyper kid.
Yeah.
We need to slow you down.
Right.
And then a kid becomes addicted to it at
Right.
a young age because their body is feeding because it's already 100,000 miles an hour.
Right.
And I work with kids all the time, and I work with
Right.
communities that have challenges.
Right.
And that's the first thing. Mr. Whitlow, and the first thing I said, did you get an assessment? No. Okay, let's go ahead and set up this
Right.
appointment.
Exactly.
And let's get you into Nova or Wellstone or some type of mental health center
Right.
that's will carry and take care of your insurance if it's Medicare or Medicaid.
Right. Exactly.
So I think another one that's pretty is that they think that mental health is a lifetime thing.
Right. Yes.
Like
yeah.
you can't get rid of it.
You can't get rid of it. Yeah. The one that we have here is that mental illnesses are for life. There is no recovery. And the fact is, the reality is, I'll read this: people with mental health complications recover all the time, and no two illnesses are alike. Some find it helpful to talk to a professional, such as a therapist, while others find the support they need in talking to friends or family. Being diagnosed with a mental health illness does not mean you will struggle with it all your life. With advice and treatment, you can feel better.
And I think that's it. Well, I think it's like the scripture says, that God is a healer,
Yeah.
and a deliverer. And I think when we choose to believe that myth, that means we discredit God's ability
Right.
to save or to introduce us to health professionals like yourself
Right.
to make a difference in the life of that
Yeah.
person. And if ultimately it will imprint and impact their whole entire
Yeah, of
career,
course.
life, and
Yeah.
their trajectory.
Yeah. It's the same as marriage counseling, right? A
Okay.
person walks into a marriage or walks into a relationship with the baggage from probably a previous relationship.
Yeah.
Or they walk in with preconceived ideas from what mom and dad taught them.
Right.
And then when they go through Christian counseling or some kind of marriage counseling
Right.
with the couple,
Mhm.
then what happens is things begin to change, and you realize because of the help
Right.
and the change, your marriage is better.
I think this
Right.
is
So
this
there is
is
room for
I
change.
think this is a very important point. There's a video. Professor, I want you to cue up Bizzle's. It's a song titled "Monster." And it's a music video, and a lot of times we are bamboozled because we are in the midst of myths.
Mhm.
And then we're going to talk about stigmas, and
Yeah.
then we're going to talk about a few other things. So I want you to check out this video. And if you are dealing with these myths, this is the time for you to say, listen, how can I get help? When we come back, we're going to give you some information. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Mike Cross. There it is, alctherapycenter.com.
Mhm.
So write that down while you're listening to me as we transition to this video by Bizzle called Monsters. Who's the real monster, and how do we become monsterless? The session, Bible Beats and Bars,
Oh yeah.
Dr. Mike Cross.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go. Appreciate that, Professor.
Okay, let's begin.
I had a dream I was living in a crib just like this one. Same wife, different children, and it looks just like home, but feels like I'm visiting. I really can't tell if it's real or I'm tripping. As I venture into the kitchen, there's two chicks whispering. Figured they was friends with the wife as they kicking it. I see them both giggling. The laughs get louder, and as I begin listening, it's clear that they dissing them. Either you drunk, pissing you off, piff or belligerent, and must not remember who kitchen it is you sitting in. Don't never disrespect my queen. You gotta get up and hit it before I really get pissed and start flipping. Before I can get rid of them, one of them said, listen, we'll leave, but in a minute, believe us, we'll be here again. We got permission from the guy that you're living with. What guy? Your friend upstairs with the lizard skin. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. So I hit the stairs, running fast, gun in hand, stopping through the house, looking for this man. Busting in the kids' room. Well, they my kids, but they not my kids. That's the part that I don't understand. And I ain't mentioned anything from the kitchen. I just asked if any strangers came here to visit. They pointed at this drawing that they made, and this picture was a lady and some man with a face like a lizard. They laughing as I notice they hands hitting behind they back, and it was something black in it. I tell them to let me see. As I take a look closer, it's a voodoo doll of my wife with needles all over. And now I'm tripping, asking them where they get it and what are they doing with it, but all they doing is grinning. They looked at me and said, Dad, quit tripping. The monster inside y'all's room gave us permission. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. So I run up in our room and I see this man. He's standing over my wife and she bleeding bad. I pull a gun out to squeeze, but this thing is jammed. So I swing, but it's so slow I can't even land. I step around and I see his hand. It got my wife's heart in it and it's beating fast. She got tears running all down her cheek, but she keeps smiling though. You would think she ain't even mad. This dude got a hoodie on, I can't see his face. I'm just trying to figure if he a lizard or he a snake. Is it what the chick explained? Is it who the kids were saying? Giving everybody permission to cause my missus pain. He yelled something and it sounded like hypocrite. Except he ain't say it, he was hissing it. I asked him his name, he replied, Mark, then he looked up, in his face, it was mine. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. Monster. I wake up and it's a chick laying next to me, but it's not my wife laying in the bed with me. Tears in my eyes and this dream got me dying inside, cause now I finally realized what it was telling me. The two women in the kitchen, they were dissing cause the way that I was living had given them that permission. And now I wanna flex with words and check forward, but my actions is why they was losing respect for it. And them kids that I didn't recognize at first, see, they really were my kids, just not with her. And the doll with all the needles inside of her represents the betrayal they'd always be a reminder of. See, I was running around trying to be the hero, but the monster with her heart in his hand was me though. I know, you never let anybody hurt her, bro, but don't forget you in the position to hurt her most. I'll save you, I'll save you. I'll save you, I'll save you. From the monster.
Wow, man, that was deep, wasn't it, bro?
Oh yeah, the monster inside of
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Because I
man.
think at the end of the
Wow.
day, man, and welcome back to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host, Fred Whitlow II, aka Minister Fred. But I think it's really important that, and my guest here, Dr. Michael Cross, I call him Dr. Mike Cross. But let me do this real quick before we continue, because we got to talk about stigmas
Hmm.
and pitfalls.
Yeah.
Don't forget, every Friday, this is what we do. Thanks, Professor. Shout out to my man. He keeps me on point. But every Friday we do the session. I'm sorry, No More Dirty TV. There it is right there. It's my co-host. You already know, DB Real Music. And it's every Friday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And then we also do it on Wednesday. So you really get it twice.
Hmm.
But we come right out the gate on Friday night. Then on Saturdays, when we're here doing it like we do it every Saturday, the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Got to show my homie in the building. Right there you go.
Professor
Professor, he always
X.
behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
But we do this every Saturday, 2 p.m. And then we do it on Mondays for those that are on travel at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on Sundays, we do several bit of the radio show, which is No More Dirty Radio. And it's we on at 6,
Yeah.
but G93 at 5.
Hmm.
Then we up at 6 p.m. And then on Mondays, and that's on Mondays we go with Envision Radio,
Vision Radio.
envision-radio.com,
.com.
4
Oh,
p.m.
yeah.
Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. So we want to make sure that you take the time, and then also go to our website, nomoredirty.org. You have an opportunity to volunteer. You have an opportunity to be engaged in investing in a
Mhm.
child's life, a program, and also you can share. Thanks a lot, Professor. All right, let's dig right back in, man. We
Yeah.
got to talk
Yeah.
about let's talk about stigmas and pitfalls,
Yeah.
so that people can, and then we'll give them the solution on after we get
Mhm.
on this side.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about stigmas in the black and brown. Why it seems to lurk, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. I thought one of the main reasons for the stigma of mental health, specifically in the Black community, is, like I said before, the issue of trust,
Okay, trust.
and also trying to use other avenues to heal or address the problem that's not mental health professionals. So
Okay.
again, um, unfortunately, we try to use alcohol,
Okay.
Friday night parties.
Right.
We try to use a baby, sex,
Right.
to fill in the void of love,
Okay.
right? We use everything else except mental health professionals to try to cover up and address the issue in a wrong way.
So let me ask a question. Is it just mistrust that
Yeah, it's a mistrust
that's
issue.
the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
issue?
That's the biggest issue.
So
Yeah.
how do we deal with mistrust, given the history of just not having the ability or seeing a reason to
Yeah.
trust anybody,
Right.
let alone a mental health or a health professional?
Yeah. Two things are very important to try to alleviate the mistrust. One is,
Talk to the folk.
yeah, we need more people of color like myself that are involved in mental health, getting certified, getting qualified, going to school.
Yeah.
Because if I walk in and tell you my story of uh, being a domestic violence survivor,
Right.
my dad in drugs, my own issues of depression and anxiety because I'm also a veteran that has had that. My own survival as a stroke survivor recently. And that with that stroke survival, a whole life change, including anxiety and depression.
Wow.
Then what happens is that person feels that I know exactly what they're going through.
So you become relatable, not
Right.
just by your ethnicity and your culture and your color,
Right.
but you become relatable because they can actually understand, and they can
Right.
relate to some things that happen in the black and brown
Right.
community.
Exactly.
That my uncle, my aunt has a stroke, sugar, diabetes, such and
Right.
such and
All
such.
of that.
I
Yeah.
think that's important.
It's very important. Yeah.
So let's talk about pitfalls.
Mhm.
What are some of those pitfalls that we need to avoid?
Oh my goodness.
And then we're going to go
It's-
to a video, and then we're going to talk about the benefits.
Yeah. Mhm.
Of why we need people like you.
Yeah. It's a large list, but some of the pitfalls that we have in our community are blended families, you know,
Wow.
where we don't follow after the Christ-centered approach to relationships, and so we fall into the baby mama and baby daddy issue and dramas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, lack of education, so you
Mm.
only go through 8th grade or 12th grade. That's it. But you want the big Bentley and you
Right.
want the big car and the big house, but you don't have the skills or the education to demand that kind of salary.
And you know, and
Right.
and just GP, that is so important
Yeah,
because we got to deal with where we are
yeah,
and say, okay, I got to better myself in this
Yeah.
area, and then ask and demand and require X amount of dollars more,
yeah,
retirement,
all that.
all of that.
Mhm.
But if you don't know,
Right.
and it's just, I wish one day I'm gonna get the bag, and we find ourselves on a wish list
Yeah.
and not have the credentials or the qualifications
Right.
to be able to be our best self
Yeah.
and require and demand the best salary.
Yeah. Because what happens with that, Minister Fred, is when you have those kinds of pitfalls because remember, at the end of the day, it's your choice.
Correct.
It's your life.
Yeah.
But what happens is when you make that choice and then you have the consequences of that choice,
Mhm.
right? I dropped out of high school. I can only get a job at McDonald's. Now, I'm not saying McDonald's is a bad job, but you know that McDonald's knows that they have a high turnover rate.
Correct.
Right? They know that already, right? And you got a job at McDonald's. You only make it $8, $9, $10 an hour. It's not enough,
Right.
right? But you want to live like the Joneses.
Right.
So you begin to behave in ways that McDonald's can't handle. Right?
Or
Your
salary,
paycheck, your
right.
salary cannot handle the ways in which you want to behave.
Correct.
And then what usually happens when you have those behaviors is that it turns into
Mm.
mental illness. It
Wow.
turns into depression. It turns into behaviors that turn into anxiety.
Mm.
It turns into you're not taking care of your health. You're smoking. You're involved in drugs. And you
Right.
begin down that path that turns into, why am I behaving this way? I'm behaving this way because I did not level up. Well, I need to level up. And
Mm.
now I need a professional, mental health professional to help me get out of it. And that includes relationships, sex, kids, marriage,
All of that.
beating on your wife, verbal abuse. All these different things
Yeah.
are a outpouring of those poor decisions that are made at the beginning.
So I want to go to this video, Professor. It's by Hogmog, and it's called "I Need You." Because at some point, when you get to your lowest, you have to say, "I need more.
Mhm.
I need God, but I need support that professionally can help me." And when we come back, I want to talk about the benefits
Mhm.
of having a mental health, or a professional therapist
Yes.
that will help you navigate through your life. So listen to this video. Thanks again for taking time. Make sure you
Oh, yeah.
subscribe this and share. And again, Professor, he's going to put the information up. And when we come back, we're going to start out with how they can contact you.
Right.
You're listening to the session, Bible Beats and Bars, with my man, the good doctor, Michael A. Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned.
I need you now more than I ever needed you, Lord. More than what I ever needed before. I'm crying out, I need you more. The waves of my doubt left me drifting here without an oar. Stranded and I have lost sight of the shore. Guide me 'cause I need you, Lord. I know that I need you more.
Lord saw me full grown, way before I even grew. I was given grace and mercy, way before I even knew. Had to keep it moving all my life, I ain't get to grieve. Sorry for the ones I hurt, even for my enemies. When I'm on my daily walk, my memories are plain to see. Flashbacks of my past, blue rag banging seas. Set tripping with the homies, it was out of love, cuz I was on the pride ride. I ain't know what love was, Tay used to wild out. I was always up to kill, fiends used to crowd round. I was always down to deal. Rival crews spin the block, fire shot sinking in. Another homie dead, gone. As soon as I blink again, tired of the back and forth, I don't give in to the stress. I envision green pastures, Lord, take me there to rest. When I'm rolling with my God, I know I am sucker free. I see God in everything around me, He would never leave.
I need you now more than I ever needed you, Lord. More than what I ever needed before. I'm crying out, I need you more. The waves of my doubt left me drifting here without an oar. Stranded and I have lost sight of the shore. Guide me cause I need you, Lord.
Yeah.
I know that
Sometimes
I need
once you
you
didn't change the fact that I needed you. I was in the fast lane but didn't know where it was leading to. It was clear as day, but somehow I couldn't see the truth. I was a heathen who was deceived since a freaking youth. A young street recruit out here trying to seek the juice. So I proceeded to leave the stoop and I had some things to prove. I spent all my bread when I bought the lie, so I needed loot. Man, some cats could have noodled me, then afterwards drink the soup. I slipped through the cracks, but it wasn't my own doing. Only by the grace of one who sits on his throne ruling. I was so foolish, but the Lord brought me close to him. I was broken, but Yeshua is the reason to change on my soul loose, and I was ill. Blind for real, I was running, my eyes was peeled, and Christ was revealed to this young, and my stripes was healed, and signed and sealed. Now I'm under his influence and behind his will like I'm drunken.
I need you now more than I ever needed you, Lord. More than what I ever needed before. I'm crying out, I need you more. I need you. The waves of my doubt left me drifting here without an oar. Stranded and I have lost sight of the shore. Guide me cause I need you, Lord. I know that I need you more. No one else can soothe me the way that you do. More than just improve me, you make me new. That's how I know I need you. I need you now more than I ever needed you, Lord. More than what I ever needed before. I'm crying out, I need you more. The waves of my life drifting me without an oar. Stranded and I have lost sight of the shore. Cause I need you, Lord. I know that I need you
Yeah, man. I need you more. I think that's it. You know, again, it talks. We were talking offline. You're welcome to the session again. If you just tuned in, I'm your host, Minister Fred Whitlow. Too. My special guest is Dr. Michael A. Cross, licensed therapist, certified, all of that good stuff, man. At the end of the day, he can help you.
Yeah.
Listen, why don't you give them the name of your center, your therapy center,
Right.
and how they can contact you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
let's
yeah,
finale
yeah.
with the benefits.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, Abundant Life Coaching and Therapy Center That's alctherapycenter.com.
Mm.
www.alc Alpha Lima Charlie therapycenter.com. And what I do is I provide exclusively and only group therapy.
That's good.
Group therapy. Group therapy is cheaper because
Right.
the normal rate of just having a one-on-one is north of $150 an hour.
Wow.
But
Wow.
on my website, it's $80
Yeah.
for you to be a part of a group, half off.
Wow. Come on now.
Right?
And you have support within the group
And you have
as you're doing
support.
the
That's the
therapy.
benefit.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is great.
Yeah,
bro.
group therapy means that you have others that are supporting you through your process. You are not alone
Right.
in whatever. And the great part about what I provide in acceptance and commitment therapy, that's what I'm specialized in.
Okay.
Acceptance and commitment therapy means that you don't run away from your emotional need
Yeah.
and the issue that you're facing, but you face it, you accept it, and then you begin to put together an action plan to help you get through it. Breathing exercises,
Yeah.
all kinds of tools that we use to help you, whether you're grieving, whether you're academic depression or anxiety, whatever you're going through, we can help you with others that are also going through the same situation.
And that is really a type of ministry in terms is professional services, get it?
Mhm.
But that's just what Jesus did. Jesus didn't do it. He had 12 disciples and they had to work through stuff
Yeah.
for 3.5 years.
Mhm.
So when you get with Dr. Mike Cross, you're going to get a chance to work through these things and be able to make a significant impact in your life while others are gleaning and growing as well.
Mhm.
So let's
Right.
talk about, just in closing, let's talk about the benefits
Right.
of having a mental health or a health professional
Right.
in-house.
Yeah. One of the benefits of the many benefits you have is that number one, you're addressing your emotional need,
Mm.
and then you are finding solutions to help you affect change
Wow.
in your behavior and in
Wow.
your situation. So number one is accountability of your situation. Look, stop running from the fact that you were sexually abused, or stop running from the verbal abuse, or running from
Right.
the PTSD or whatever it
Whatever it
is.
may be.
Right, because what it's doing is affecting your life.
And it's the progress from the consequence, like you were saying
Yeah.
earlier, that's destroying you internally
Right.
and impacting your out external.
Right, right. You're wondering why you're yelling and screaming, going to work and cursing off the boss, and why you're mad and all these different things,
Right.
because you have not addressed the real issue. And what we want to do is want to help you to live abundantly and to
Right.
level up. Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been doing and I'm gonna tell you that Doc Mike has been rocking me for a long time, man.
Yeah, man.
And even now with when we do the No More Dirty Radio show, Dr. Mike always has some amazing nuggets in an hour show on
Yeah.
Sundays from 5 to 6 and 6 to 7, and then on Mondays. And so now let's talk. You have your own show. Tell us a little bit about your show. And I have one more question.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Great connection with Minister Fred Whitlow. We are now on his partner, envisionradio.com and www.envision-radio.com, and it's the Dr. Mike Cross Show, right? The Dr. Mike
Dr.
Cross
Mike
Show.
Cross Show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And it's really a show that's devoted specifically to multiple topics that have come out of my life, right? So
Okay.
I'm pushing my friends to be educated,
All right.
get their master's and get their doctorate, as I'm getting a second doctorate myself.
And he's got me on a trajectory for
a master's, an
So,
MBA.
yes, sir.
Right. So we're going to talk about
Double-
education.
double masters.
Right, double masters. Right. And then we're going to talk about social justice, which is mightily important, especially with the work that Minister Fred does in the community. So social justice is important. Certainly mental health and relationships. And we're going to have a plethora of other topics
Yeah.
that are vital to our podcast and our listeners. So I look forward to the first interview.
Yeah.
Our first set of series is going to cover about 4 parts on stroke survival.
Wow.
What is life after a stroke? I experienced a stroke, and I've had great, excellent care, and I've got a physical therapist a speech therapist, and an occupational therapist.
Right.
And they've already agreed to come and do interviews and help us to understand some of the uh, risk factors, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, all that stuff, especially in the Black community.
Right.
Right.
So I want to
So-
finale with this last question before we take them out with
Yeah.
a song called "Worship Your Name and Get Better." So if, as a health professional, and we realize we've shared some really great nuggets,
Mm.
how in the end, in the end, how do we choose one, a professional like
Professional?
you?
Oh,
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
And then we're going to close with prayer. And I want you, Professor, to go ahead and put his information up while he's sharing so that you can get the website and all that good stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think one of the most important parts of choosing a therapist is that the therapist, first and foremost, understands your situation. And the therapist has a very high sense of empathy and the ability to walk with you through your journey.
I think that's powerful.
Right? That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Because Christ walked with you, right? And you have to be able to have a therapist that understands your situation, walks with you through your journey, and then holds you accountable to taking action, because those action plans are important to help you to make changes and to get the help. And here's the biggest part: to finally live in peace.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of our listeners out there that are not living in peace.
Right.
And it's the whole point of therapy is that one day you can break every chain, as the old song goes.
That's right.
Break every chain, and then you can live in peace with yourself and your neighbors.
So again, you can reach out. It's on the screen, but why don't you give them your information, website,
Yeah.
direct number for your office, and
Yeah.
maybe an email.
Right,
And
right.
again, we'll have it posted on our page.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll make sure. So if you go to No More Dirty Inc., No More Dirty Radio Show, that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you'll see his graphic with his information.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure it's linked in terms of the logo.
Yeah, sure. So once again, www.alctherapycenter.com. My email is doctor, Michael Alexander at iCloud.com. And you can reach me directly at 505-876-7609.
And you do virtual around the world, because I know you're
Yeah.
out of New Mexico at this point.
It's virtual.
And he's here in the studio. This cat's traveling. He traveled all this way just to share this good news.
Yeah.
So why don't you to give us a prayer, and then we're going to go out with a song called "Worship Your Name." And again, thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man, you family, brother.
Yeah, man.
You already know, man.
Yeah, man. Let's pray. Loving Father in heaven, we are so grateful, thankful for you being God all by yourself. We are thankful that you have given us professional mental health individuals, therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists, and all kinds of folk that you have trained to understand the mind that you have created and made in us. And because of sin, sometimes the mind plays tricks on us and the mind goes array. And we've got all kinds of life issues that give us mental illness, or we have those struggles. And so, Father, I pray for our listeners, wherever you may be, that you will find peace, that you will find help, and that you can live abundantly as a result of seeking that help professionally. Bless our listeners, bless Minister Fred, bless the entire No More Dirty team, and we thank you. We ask this prayer in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Again, I want to say, man, appreciate you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to take you out, Professor. Shout out to my man, Professor X, is in the building.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
Professor
show it
X.
one more time, that picture, brother. And then, of course, don't forget June. You already know our second
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
reload.
goodness.
We got, man, the Clean Comedy Series
Yeah.
featuring, you already know, national clean comedian Small Fire as our headliner.
She
We're
is
oh my goodness.
hilarious,
Oh
man.
my
Funny.
goodness. Oh my
You
goodness.
see, I got my shirt on. I got my shirt from the first one. And I'm telling you, man, they put on a show, man. I'm telling you. Small Fire.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
It's
Spike
just,
Davis.
man.
Oh,
Saint
man.
Vic. I mean,
Saint Vic. Oh, we had a great time.
and then all the proceeds, so you go to the website to get a ticket. It's $25 in advance and $35 at the door, and it will be a benefit toward our youth and our community initiatives. So that's like the Camp Smart Greatness Project, And there's several things that we're doing in the community. The Good Music and Arts Festival coming up in October. I mean, just a lot of things. And if you're a comedian, this is what we're doing this time. If you're a comedian on April the 22nd, you'll be able to come to the spot. We'll give you up to 10 minutes to show us how funny you are, and you'll be an opener for the June 25th show featuring headlining national
Wow.
artist, comedian, and extraordinary
Yeah.
Small Fire.
I can't help you out. I'm not a funny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you just wake up making me laugh.
Yeah, I can't help you out, man. I got no stand-up skills, brother. But definitely come on out. I'm telling you, for all y'all that think you're funny and you can, keep a crowd and all that stuff, and coming out to the auditions, we'd love to hear you. Love to see you.
So with that being said, we want to say thank you, Professor. You got to throw your picture up there with me, brother. Yeah, it is. That's what we're doing in the fall, October. So we got a lot of good stuff, man.
A lot of stuff
A lot of great stuff. But thanks again to you all. And if you love what you're seeing, and go to our website, nomoredirty.org, support, make a pledge, get involved with something that we have in the community.
Yeah.
And then it's all tax deductible, so you can write it off. There it is. That's my homie, man.
Yeah,
Always
man,
in the building.
X.
Professor X. And we're going to take you out with this song. It's called Worship Your Name. It's by one of the dopest artists out there in the game, International Show. And he flipped the hip hop with the praise and with the R&B.
Oh, wow.
And there it is. Thanks a lot. So enjoy this video, and we'll see you on the next time here at the session. Bible Beats and Bars.
Peace.
Peace. Enjoy.
Walking through the valley, I'm never alone, Yahweh. Even when I swerve, you're always in control, Yahweh. Never gonna leave me, never forsake me, Yahweh. Filled with your presence, wrapped in your safety, Yahweh. You paid it all on Calvary, Lord, you holding my steps. Mine is racing, tossing, turning, Lord, please order my rest. Lay these burdens at the altar, get it off of my chest. Cause I need your grace and your mercy to bring me through, yeah. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Word of your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Worship your name. Worship, 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 worship's what I do. It brings me close to you. Never cast a stone. Lord, forgive all my accusers. Light into my path, never lose ya. No, worship your name, you gon' hear me loud. We in a good groove, cause the mountain gon' move. The weight of the world won't weigh me down. If God is before you, there's no excuse. Don't need to worry about the battle, just know it's the Lord. All hands on deck, we bout to set sail all aboard. You paid it all on Calvary, Lord, you holding my steps. Mine is racing, tossing, turning, Lord, please order my rest. Lay these burdens at the altar, get it off of my chest. Cause I need your grace and your mercy to bring me through, yeah. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Worship your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Worship your name. Your name, your name. Giving you all the praise. Your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name. Your name, your name, your name, your name, your name, your name.